Now,
Which one's yours?
we got this app here.
Oh, really? I'm pretty sure that's the right password.
And let's see. If I run this, you see I got two buttons, pink and bugs. If I click pink, it puts Pink Panther there. If I click bugs, it puts Bugs Bunny there. If I click invisible, then it makes it invisible. Now you're going to want to add in two images. Actually, you want to add in four images. Your cheese pizza and your three toppings.
Dude.
And
No, Cody, don't run.
and now focus. You guys are gonna miss important stuff here, and they'll be asking me questions. I won't answer them at that point.
Okay. We're asking me the various bugs.
Now you're gonna add in your images,
Okay.
and you got to make sure you put the name here.
Oh.
If you don't change this name, it won't find it. So I called that pink. That makes sense. And I called this bugs.
So that's in the assets folder that you added?
I just added it into my project here. Remember where you do your file, add files?
And then you added the folder. You added the two images.
I searched down for the images, like if I added the Pac-Man in here, I got that under, I don't got a Pac-Man. But you go to your documents and you choose your image you transferred there. And then you just click add.
And then it'll recognize. What was the deal with going to the assets folder and then adding the image there? Was that like kind of an unnecessary?
That's if you want to put them in a separate folder.
Oh.
Here I'm just putting them in the main folder.
Okay.
But again, when you click that, then it tells you the name, and you change that, and just remember that name. Now I added on. I added three buttons, and I added a UI image view.
Okay.
I didn't set the UI image view to anything to begin with. So I just leave it blank. Now for my code, yeah, you see over here where it's an image and it's blank? Because we don't need to set it anything. Then what I did is I connected this UI image view over here. Remember, you hold down your control, drag and drop that in here. And that creates this IB outlet. Then I took these three buttons and I dragged them over here and created three places. Real easy. Up here, when I created this, I named it IV underscore image.
Right.
And notice down here it says IV underscore image. And then you do dot image equals UI image, and then begin parentheses name colon, and then this has to match what you named it. Remember what I showed you?
Yeah.
And then the bugs here.
Oh. So when if you click it, it's just reaching to that image view, and then it finds the name by the
Right.
in terms of name studio by ID.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So like if I went and grabbed let me go grab Pac-Man. And images. Download link file as Pac-Man. Save. I don't know if that'd be the right file format, but we'll see.
That's quite a bit easier than the Android Studio.
It is, and you'll have your images already created. So if you're still working on the Android, then you have time to finish that too.
Grab my thumb drive.
So then I come over here and I want to do a file, add files. I'll go to documents, and oh shoot, it added to pacman.html. Let's try that again.
Yeah, that happened.
What did I say? Oh, save. Okay, save image to save image as. That's better. Pacman.
I seriously don't know why.
So then I'll do a file, add files. Go down to my documents. There's Pac-Man. It's a PNG, comes up. So I just click add. I don't have to really change anything there. But again, this right here, if I turn on my right panel, is called pacman.png, which should probably be fine. You just have to access it that way in your code. I'm going to change the name of it to say Pac-Man. And then I go to my main storyboard. I'll turn off the code. And I add a new button.
Oh, this thing.
And I'll name it Pac-Man. Go back to my code. Show off my panels.
So it only needs one UI image view?
Yes. Yeah. You could use separate ones. I just designed it this way. I don't know which way is better, to be honest. If you're just going to show one image at a time, then you can do one. But if you're going to have where they layer on top of each other, like our previous one, you need separate ones.
So we're going to use separate ones.
Yeah. It's easiest.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it's easier in this than it is in Microsoft. Android Studio.
Well, this one we're just using the one image viewer, but again, if you're going to layer them, you need to have both of them on the same screen at the same time.
Okay.
So you can't really do the same.
Have you tried doing the layer before? Like, do you know if it'll sense that it's a PNG and then it'll be transparent?
Pretty sure I have. Yeah, the PNG, assuming you have the transparency set up, with those cut out, it should work fine. Now I'm gonna hold down my control and drag the Pac-Man. Create a new piece of code down here or up here or somewhere. Right there, he is. Now I'll call this button pack. Choose action. Choose UI button. Choose connect. And then here you got your IV image dot image equals UI image named, and this was called Pac-Man.
Where does it... Okay, so how does it use that UI image view? Do you have to call to it by pressing that button? Like, how does it know which one to write to?
It's when you do your connection up here. Since I named it IV underscore,
image. Okay.
that's what it's referring to on the left side here. Now the named here is just referring to the file we brought in.
Right. Would So we'd have 4 UI image views in the same place.
Right.
Overlap. Okay, so we'd overlap each other, and then we just call to each one.
And make them hidden or not, which we'll talk about in a second. So now if I run that, oh, I was waiting for it to come back. I'm so used to Android taking a while. If I click Pac-Man, pink, bugs, just goes back and forth.
So whenever you, okay, so with that one, it just said you do like the if statement, and then if it's not pressed, it's hidden. So how does it do the same thing on this one,
Yes.
or do you have to just click the button instead of this?
Let's pretend that this is a cheese pizza
Okay.
initially. So I'd want to set the image of this. That's strange.
Oh, wow.
Well, maybe you don't set it initially. I've set it initially before. What have I done different?
Now I'm a bit confused.
Oh well. We have your cheese pizza here.
Right.
And let's say this right here sets the cheese. So when they click this, the cheese should appear right here. So in this bit of code right here for the Pac-Man, I'm going to check to see if the see if it's hidden or not. So I check here if iv underscore image dot is hidden. So that means it's hidden. I want to unhide it. So I do iv underscore image. I can't really do this with separate images, but you'll get the idea. Iv image dot is hidden equals false. And then I want to take this paste it here.
Now. Or then you do else. You do else, then is hidden.
Exactly. IV or IV image dot is hidden equals true.
Are you gonna print that out, or do you want me to
I can.
take a picture?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Now, what you'll have is that you'll have 4 of these. So when you have here, you'll have 4 of these that you've created. 4 of them you've dropped in. Is that?
I mean,
See, like I'll have
see, look, 4 UI images. Each of them will be like IV underscore cheese, and then there'll be IV underscore pepperoni. The rest of the toppings.
right.
The cheese will always be the is hidden false, right?
Yes, because it'll always be showing.
So do we even need to do any code with the cheese, or do we just put it there? Just like regular cheese, and then just have the 3 UI images.
You should just be able to put it there.
Okay, so that's good. We don't have to do any cheese coding.
Pizza clip art. Okay, so if I grab this, I'll save that at save image as cheese. And this one I'll save as Supreme. This is the one thing I want, not sure if I remember, so let me copy that. Let me start a new project and show you from scratch.
Just real quick, if we did add the images under assets, would it still be the same?
Should be. Yeah. Okay, choose single view app, pizza app 2. So I'm going to add those images. So I'm going to come up here and I'll do my file, add files. And I got that saved in the documents. So I got my cheese. I'll go ahead and add that. And then I'll add in
Okay, I got all of my.
Supreme. Add that in. Now again, you can use these names probably. Dot would cause you problems in Android, but shouldn't be any problem here. But I'm going to come here and just make sure by getting rid of the dot, just have that called Supreme. This one, I'll come over here and change the name of it. Name it cheese.
Whenever I put mine in there, it kept the same name, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It said, like, the thing that's on the left, that's
Oh.
the name of it, right?
No, when you click here, no, the over here identity and type is where you should see the name.
It's not popping up for me when I click it. And one of my pictures is just like over the screen permanently. I don't know why that's there. See, like it's like can't move it. I don't know why it's just weird. There. Okay, well that's not part of it, but
But you change the name over here after you click the image brought in. Should have changed the name over there.
that's the name of the folder. Is it attribute? Oh yeah, there it is. Name. Well, let's keep the name.
Okay.
Follow pepperoni pepper. Cool.
Okay, so then I go to my main storyboard. And I want to add it in. I'm going to add in a button here. I'll add another button here.
Cheese in the middle of the screen is tripping me out. It's weird. But there's cheese in the middle of the screen.
Then I want to choose this image view here, drop it on here.
Okay.
That's curious, I can't see my list. Maybe because I didn't add it into the resources.
Okay, so we had UI image view.
Now that's one image, UI image view, so I'm going to add another image view here.
So the first one that we add is The cheese pizza.
It's going to be for a cheese pizza. I'm going to make this one the same size. And then I'll move it down here out of the way.
Do we do aspect fit for like?
No, just
Well, to keep it the same size.
I just moved it on top of it and then resized it manually. But you can come over here and you can actually set your actual values if you wanted.
I changed that under view content mode to the aspect fit, and it looks good now.
Okay, so this is our first one. This will be our cheese pizza.
Okay.
And okay, so then I got cheese, I got pepperoni on mine, so I got 2 of them. I'm gonna hide that left panel. I'll show my code. Now I want to drop these both into my UI view controller. So I hold on my control and drag and drop that. This one I'm gonna call it image view, so IV underscore cheese. This one I'm gonna drop in. Hold on my control, drag and drop it in. And this one will be IV underscore pepperoni. Or I guess supreme, but oh well, you get the idea.
Under the view controller. IV underscore pepperoni. We don't need to change the type or anything, right?
No. It assumes a type when you do that drag. Now I got this one selected, and over here there's a hidden option. So if I checked hidden, that'll be hidden to begin with, which is what we want.
Okay.
I'll drag it up there now. Now that we've created these connections, and I'll show off my right panel. And I want to drag these buttons on here. This will be my button to show the cheese.
So we don't need to add the image manually except for the cheese one, right? It just automatically assumes.
Right. There we go. So cheese. This one I'll call pepperoni. So now I want to create these connections for these buttons. So I hold on my control, and I'll drag the cheese down here. I'm going to make it an action. I'll call it button cheese. I'll choose UI button and click connect. And while I'm at it, I'll go ahead and add pepperoni. So hold on my control, drag the pepperoni down here. It's an action.
So button underscore pepperoni.
The UI button. Okay. So now, here's my image, or the code I copied over from the other one. Now I named that IV underscore cheese. So this one will be IV underscore cheese. And I probably called it cheese, didn't I? Be a logical thing. So I set the image for that. Now I want to check to see if it's hidden or not. So I'm going to say if iv underscore cheese dot is hidden. That'd be true. So I check to see if it's true.
Will we need a button for cheese?
Not if you added it to the resource. I couldn't choose that image for some reason.
Okay. I added it. I added it on there.
You added it to the resources and you could see it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like if you just add it as just a file, you have to access it directly. Now
That cheese being over the screen.
Now I can set it up here. Like if I come up here and I say this right here, then it should, when it loads, do that. Like let me test that just to make sure. And see how I have my cheese pizza here?
Uh-huh.
So you can put it up there such that it automatically loads. So then actually down here, I wouldn't need to actually set the image on that, but it doesn't hurt. So if it's hidden, I want to make it iv underscore cheese dot is hidden
Whoa.
equals to false.
Okay, so I put, you know how you did the name, colon, and then pepperoni? Or I guess in your case, the cheese.
Mm-hmm.
I typed in pepperoni and it showed up, and I hit tab and it changed it to the image.
Oh, yeah, it did that to me earlier.
I can't, it won't accept it, but
No, you have to delete it and type it in.
that's weird.
So iv cheese
It pops up a little pepperoni.
dot is hidden equal to true. This is going to cause it to fluctuate back and forth if I hit the cheese button.
Okay.
So if I run this,
Do we need to have a semicolon? Did you put a semicolon after a cheese?
I don't know. Some programming languages you do. Sometimes I just get in the habit of automatically putting it. I can't remember.
It's pepperoni. Is it a?
I think you have to have semicolons in Swift. What?
Is hidden. Okay, I see.
Now I'm going to copy the same code over for the pepperoni. Though actually, I probably wouldn't want to even hide the cheese, but. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it down here for the pepperoni. Unfortunately, I didn't name it pepperoni and named it supreme. Change that to supreme. And this is IV, what did I call it? Pepperoni? Yeah. I'll change all these to pepperoni.
Okay, and then you do that for every one.
You're going to do it for your other two toppings. So then if I run that now, comes up cheese by default. If I click this here, it changes that. Not only changes it, but puts it on top of it.
I don't know how to right click this Mac. There we go.
Unfortunately, since I haven't designed these images well, you can't actually see that. But if you make them PNG and you make them transparent, then just like the Android Studio, you should work fine. So you want one image that's just the cheese pizza. You want another image that just has the pepperonis, not the cheese pizza, just pepperonis, and transparent everywhere else. Then you want sausage, transparent everywhere else, and then whatever other topping you pick, and transparent everywhere else. Want me to print this code?
Yes, please. I might be close. Yeah.
Hardest part on this one is just getting the images.
Yeah.
Once you got your images created, then it's not bad at all.